The Eagles of Boston College are set to take on the Tar Heels of North Carolina. North Carolina making their 20th appearance in the NCAA tournament. That's 20th straight. They're the defending champions. They take on BC, and the winner moves on along with Indiana to Miami. Welcome back to Landover, everyone. Along with Bill Raftery, Greg Gumbel, Leslie Visser is with us as well. Not only are these defending champions loaded with talent like Reese and Phelps and Williams and Montross, but they have some younger guys, some freshmen moving in, making a mark.
And they are fun to watch. Stackhouse, you mentioned Jeff McGinnis, a guy, and just think of Rasheed Wallace. Magnificent finishing plays, great offensive rebounder, can make a three, a two, or put it on the floor.
Now, Boston College looking ahead to playing the biggest team in the country, North Carolina. They'll ask Coach Jim O'Brien, and O'Brien says it's mostly in the mind.
I think more than anything, you have to start to try to convince your team that yes, you do have a chance to win the game. I think that's probably the biggest thing to overcome because of their reputation and because of everything that they've accomplished down through the years. And one of the things that we've talked to our kids about has been the success that our football team had when they played Notre Dame this year. And the whole message that they were selling at that point is you can win this game.
And if they're going to be successful today, this is a guy who's going to have to get it done inside.
And he's got to stay on the floor. I mean, he's going to be fatigued. He cannot foul. Make sure he puts some good offensive moves, does not charge, kicks it out if he's in danger. And on the other end, they all have to help rebound to keep him out of foul trouble. Notice the 25 points, great up and under moves.
BC, the 9th best three-point shooting team in the nation. They will need to be at least that today. The starting lineups, Curley and Danye Abrams, the freshman, up front, with Isley, Huckabee, and Gerard Abram in the backcourt for Boston. For Carolina, Rasheed Wallace and Brian Reese, Eric Montross in the middle, Williams and Phelps in the backcourt. The head coach of the Boston College Eagles, Jim O'Brien, in his 8th year at BC, has guided the Eagles to their first 20-win season since 1983. On the other side, need you say anything more than just Dean Smith? There's Eric Montross. Our officials for today's game, Ted Hillary, Tom Rucker, Steve Wilmer, and we're underway.
And the Eagles, man-to-man. Patience, a lot of bumps, a lot of screens. Pass up a good one for a better one.
Tried to force it into Montross, and here comes Boston College.
The Heels, man-to-man as well. And look at Rasheed rag the little guy, Abram, and they're going to see a lot of that. Three-guard look.
Isley lost the handle and will come back the other way. For Boston College, winner over Washington State here on Friday by 3. And 4 seniors who have played a lot of basketball on the floor.
Experience certainly very important, particularly against a club like this. Look to establish Montross. They clear out the backside. And the best thing there was Charlie didn't foul. Give up the deuce when he's in that area.
2-0 North Carolina. Isley hesitated, and it didn't fall. Kept out of bounds to North Carolina.
Well, for a lot of people, this is the DMZ area. You do not want to go in here, particularly with Eric Montross. He has a great ability to hold off and not foul, and then send it in.
2-0 North Carolina in the lead. The freshman Wallace handling the ball up top, and now Montross.
And here's the guy, the silent warrior, I think, Phelps. Guards people, runs the show, unselfish. The key to this basketball team.
Phelps drives the lane, ran into problems, and the foul is on Curley. North Carolina comes in as defending champions, ACC tournament champions for the 13th straight year. And look at that bottom note. A win today puts the Tar Heels into the Sweet 16 for a 14th consecutive season.
And I happened to look last night and early this morning at the Carolina-Duke game at Duke. And Donald Williams seemed to find himself there. A little zone on the inbounds. Made a couple of runners, then he got a couple of looks like this. And if he is on fire, as last year, he can carry him a long way.
Good job by the freshman on the block out of Eric Montross. Isley, this time, no hesitation out of the corner. 5-2 Boston College.
Now, this club has a lot of pent-up emotions. They feel they're better than people give them credit. They feel they've accomplished a lot up in Boston. And they got a 3-second call on Wallace.
Jim O'Brien helping out on the call on the sideline.
Well, we got 3 officials, and we've got the tallest in the history of the game, Steve Boomer, 6'10" out there. So he can see it all.
Host school here in the East region in Landover, George Mason, and shipped in their floor for the festivities this weekend.
That's one way of getting in the tournament. Nice
Curly.
duck in. He is marvelous in that area. He uses his body. We talked the other day about showing up. I mean, he is on the dock every morning, shaping up.
5-2 Boston College. Out of bounds, off of Wallace, who gave a shove. And Tom Rucker is going to talk to him about it. Jim O'Brien wants a little more than just a chat.
Now, I'm not even going to look at Dean Smith, but I bet he takes Rasheed Wallace out.
I think you're right. I think Kevin Salvadori is checking into the game.
And
right you are, Mr. Raftery.
well, I didn't want to look only because Dean does not want his guys to be demonstrative. He will say what's necessary. You just play the game. And Rasheed, part of it, he did the McDonald's game. Remember, he got real excited last year?
Yep. There's the takeaway. Phelps grabbed in the backcourt.
Should be intentional, too. The shirt was pulled, and Durrick's asking for it.
Jerry Stackhouse now off. Here, take a look.
Sometimes the only way to stop good players is to pull the shirt. And you can see Isley got away with one.
That's off to Boston College. So good pressure on the inbound. Gives the ball back to the Eagles, who lead at 5-2. Jerry Stackhouse onto the floor for the Tar Heels.
Just looking at Jimmy O'Brien, I mean, the guy that's, for the last couple of years, has been striving to get this team to this particular level. It has been a struggle.
Isley out of the corner again. That one not good, and he follows himself. Curley to the force. And Stackhouse with the rebound.
A lot of people think this whole lineup is a Stackhouse.
Phelps, Salvadori, Montross, Williams, and Stackhouse on the floor.
I'd say that's a royal flush. Look at the double little. They go little with Isley.
Phelps, three-pointer on the money. Tie game at 5.
Now, Grant Hill did not go out and guard him in that game I mentioned earlier, and he can make that, but his job is to get others involved. Here's the switch, and he's got Danier, and Montross looking to double up. Good use of the floor.
Abram top of the key. Isley. Abram, good fake and a move inside.
The kiss at the end.
6'7" freshman out of Greenburgh, New York. 7'5" BC. Williams on the move. Bad shot. Rebounded off to the Eagles. The lead. Curley saves for Abrams. Rejected by Montross. Abrams again. BC not very aware they're playing the defending champion.
There's a long way from start to finish, but emotionally, they do not want to dissipate that, but play control. This team wears on you, the substitution, the size.
Williams.
Got a piece. The birthday boy, Gerard Abram. He and Jimmy Ryan, both of BC, celebrating, and nice little save by Curley, and get it out of town by Eric Montross, but lost in the shuffle is the basketball. Danier quicker to it.
Nice little touch inside by the freshman. Donald Williams at the line. You mentioned Gerard Abram, 22 years old today. Jim Ryan on the Boston College bench, 21 years old today.
And his Uncle Joe was a great player at Villanova, before my time, obviously. And here at Gonzaga.
Was that back when there was a jump ball after every basket?
They had strings on the ball. It was Packers era. Now, all the injuries during the course of the year have made it very hard for Donald Williams to get into the flow.
15:24 to play first half. Eagles by 3. We'll be back.
What do you get when you cross a high-quality conventional motor oil with an advanced formula synthetic? A revolutionary new oil that protects better than regular oils, yet costs 40% less than other synthetics. DuraBlend from Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline.
At Geo, we've thought a lot about safety. That's why Geo Prism comes with standard dual airbags and available anti-lock brakes. In addition, it's equipped with a rugged steel safety cage. You see, we not only want to make accidents easier to avoid, we also want to make them easier to walk away from.
Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know Geo Prism with over 100 standard safety features.
Imagine adhesives so strong they help hold together 100 tons of soaring transportation. Imagine a fabric so bright it lets you see an accident in time to prevent it. Imagine a single disc so powerful it can store everything imaginable and protect it for a lifetime. These products and thousands more that make our lives better exist because the people at 3M imagine.
Mr. Brawley?
Yes.
Do you ever think about your HP LaserJet printer?
Not anymore. Before I bought it, I did.
What do you mean?
Well, I researched printers, and LaserJet gave me everything I wanted.
But now you say you don't think about it.
No, I don't have to. It works.
Oh, I see. It works for you and you ignore it. Is that fair?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We've seen it all before. LaserJet neglect.
Well, I have the same problem with plants.
HP LaserJet printers. You do your job, we'll do ours.
New from Pizza Hut, the ultimate pepperoni pizza. With zesty herbs and spices and thicker pepperoni for a whole new taste. This is the ultimate pepperoni pizza. But remember, one bite and there's no going back.
He was not the monster that the world made him out to be.
It takes someone like that to believe the Holocaust never happened. 60 Minutes tonight.
Back at U.S. Air Arena, where Boston College leads by 3. Well, Bill Curley is obviously ready for battle, but he's already had a tough go of it. Yesterday in practice, he cut his left eye, and it needed 2 stitches. He says he's okay. As for this game, he says he's not thinking about the entire Carolina history. He said we don't have to play their tradition, just this one game. Greg?
All right, Leslie, thank you. Think about protecting that eye, too.
You know what's amazing about Curley? We had a chance to talk to him yesterday. He said he cut his list to 15 teams, and then Carolina called him. And he told them, look, I'm loyal. I cut it down to 15. I can't speak to you. And that's something that would impress Dean Smith and others.
Calabria. And more good position inside. That time Huckabee for BC. Rod Abrams to the freshman Danye Abrams, blocked.
That's the size block. Salvadori wasn't skying on that one. Buff's always trying. Pass, go duck in.
Quick turn, doesn't get it. Here come the Eagles again.
Good anticipation by Calabria. Fill the lane. He's not just a shooter. He's got the ability to go to the glass as well, Calabria, with the dribble. But you better play some defense on this club or you don't see the floor.
Turnovers 4-3. Carolina 4, Eagles 3.
Just screening across the 2. The Twin Towers. Stackhouse with the pop out. Nice high baseline by Stackhouse.
Shot doesn't fall. Curley has the loose ball.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Still a 9-6 game. Huckabee open for 3.
I think they got to pull the string. I think they're rushing. Get a little control and composure. Make them a guard.
Salvadori missed everything. And Stackhouse there to clean up. Even giving him the benefit of the doubt, I can't think we call that a pass.
No, I don't think he was looking for him. Of course, those things happen to Carolina teams, don't they? He's very good at running to the bottom. Nice pass, huh?
Isley with the movement across the lane has 2 more. He has 5 for the day, and out of the corner, Calabria. Boston College 11-10.
Nice play by Calabria again out of Blackhawk High School. John Miller, the coach.
Let's take a look at Isley again and the pass to him.
And it was a little bit of a gamble, but you have confidence, as Billy Curley does, outside the defender's reach, and the finish rather terrific for BC. I just don't like the speed they're playing at. And Curley gets another one. This one, the reach in, and a little bit of a small change foul.
Jim O'Brien's worst nightmare. 2 personals on Curley, and we have yet to play 7 minutes of the game.
You think of this ACC, and this league is a phenomenal conference. At least one team has reached the regional finals in the last 14 years. That's not bad, huh? At least one ACC team has reached the Final Four the last 6 years. I mean, it's a alley-oop. Set up beautifully.
One freshman to another. McGinnis to Stackhouse. 3 freshmen on the floor now for North Carolina.
Well, as a lot of guys have mentioned, at this point in the year, you're not a freshman anymore. All the time you've been on the floor, the conference play that they've been in.
They mentioned yesterday to Dean Smith that he plays 9 or 10 guys. He says, I play them because they can play, not because I'm a nice guy. To the basket, Malcolm Huckabee, and Boston College has a 1-point lead, 13-12.
What Carolina is consistent. Nice defense by Danier.
The long pass for Huckabee, who will pull it out. Abram, long 3-pointer.
That one was from River Rouge.
And back with the ball is Isley.
Oh, they're really going for it.
Huckabee. Look at the freshman inside, and he got fouled.
Taking it another level. They have not displayed this emotion in a month. Boston College. You step it up at tournament time.
Look at the birthday guy again, Gerard Abram.
This is deep, 23 and change, and nothing but cotton, and there's his little birthday dance.
Happy birthday, Gerard. Here's Danier Abrams.
Paul Grant in the game, and it's a important contribution he has to make. Has not been used of late quite like he was earlier in the year. Tall kid out of Brother Rice, can do some damage with a little turnaround jump shot, but he's got to compete on the glass.
Grant is a 6'10" sophomore out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. The difference is now 5. And let's see what happens between now and the time Bill Curley re-enters the game. 6-point lead for the Eagles, 18-12. Coming up on 12 minutes to play first half.
Straight up man. Constant motion.
Stackhouse through the foul, will go to the line. Look a little familiar to you from Friday when Carolina came out to play Liberty, and Liberty is a team that came out fired up and shooting well from the perimeter, and Carolina a little bit lost early in the game.
A lot of spiritual influence, huh? Liberty had it, BC has it, and of course Carolina has Dean. In fact, a lot of the people in this audience refused to go to church. They just came to see Dean, and that counted.
North Carolina looking to repeat, and if so, would join a very elite group. Oklahoma State, Kentucky, San Fran, Cincinnati, UCLA, Duke, the last to do it.
Now, if we had more room and another page, you would have seen my school up there, unfortunately.
And we'll take time out, 11:49. We'll take time out to dig into that. We'll be back.
This is the planet Earth. And this is the most popular line of sport utility vehicles on the planet. Chevrolet.
83,000 miles. Sandy Carlton, Acworth, Georgia, 98,000 miles. Jim Bobbitt, Broomall, Pennsylvania, 110,000 miles. We can't promise you the very same mileage these Michelin owners got. But we can promise you this, the very same peace of mind. Michelin.
This time around, we'll dance. We'll dance down the rooftops. Dance up the thunder. And we'll ride the rhythm. Because everything's possible this time around.
Monday on The Late Show, Bill Cosby and singer Sheryl Crow.
On the next day, we reunite Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson.
11:49 to play, first half. Boston College leading it by 4, and they have the basketball.
And Carolina extends the floor a little bit. You got to be ready for a lot of things. The run and jump, if you dribble to an area and then you step up on the next logical receiver.
Isley and Calabria with the rebound. McInnes open for the 3, wide open. Whose man is that? Jim O'Brien would love to know.
Well, that's the philosophy. The push bangs you back towards the baseline. Now you got to come back up and identify. The philosophy of one end complemented with the push.
North Carolina within 1 at 18-17. And Will Curley ready to check back in.
You should get an open jumper out of this. Good job.
It's Huckabee. And it's short. Grant blocked by Stackhouse.
Ball's going to have to go up a little stronger
and a little quicker.
In that neighborhood. Good job going opposite, forcing the defense to spread.
Abrams, the freshman. Grant with a good hand on the ball. And the foul goes against Carolina. McInnes.
The size, a factor. You look at that, you turn around like that. I mean, you may be able to do that in the old neighborhood, huh? But not in that vicinity. Go up strong.
I'm not even sure you can do that in the neighborhood.
No.
Stackhouse quick off the floor there.
That eliminates a little pressure, huh? That takes care of the trap on the wing.
Curley back on the floor for the Eagles.
Danier's going to get that shot. He's got to take it. He missed the one and passed up the next one.
Abrams down the lane, rejected by Montross. Curley.
Pulled the string a little bit. Just in the game, didn't stroke it. They ought to get Montross or at least Salvador the ball with Curley in the game. I know it gets away from their philosophy, and they do. It's got to go strong.
Montross got it. O'Brien wanted to charge. Curley played it a little bit.
Good non-call.
19-18, Carolina in the lead. Huckabee for 3 from the top of the key.
Boy, they have spread the floor with those 3 dangerous guys. They are lethal deep.
Remember when we talked about Curley leaving the game? Carolina was down 6. When he returned, they were down 1. Salvadori's turnaround is short, and little Isley in for the rebound, and here comes BC.
Look at Curley running the floor, which lets him set up early.
Abrams, the freshman, way off.
When you run that break, secondary break, they reverse the ball and dump down to the big guys, but BC's been able to take it away.
Williams tried to get it down low, and it was picked off by Huckabee.
Easy. Pull the string.
Abrams behind a pick from Curley.
They are countering with the run. Carolina not coming up in position to close out on the dribbler or shooter.
5 for Gerard Abrams. 23-19 BC by 4.
Now, Reese on the floor has got Huckabee. He may be able to get some rebounds. And not bad, huh?
Curls a 3 home. 23-22. Eagles by 1.
I have a feeling he'll step right in nicely next year.
Isley tried to answer with the 3. Curley. The freshman, Danye Abrams, doing a heck of a job inside. He's a little bit winded. He's going to get a rest at the next whistle.
He's made them play to 3 guards. In his performance, they can get away with the size.
Montross with the hook. Curley saves it. Eagles going to push it again. Huckabee looking for a way through, and instead of bring it back outside and look down low.
And look at Curley teeing it up, and Montrose in there. Now he backs out.
Abram lost his footing down the baseline.
He had skates because of fatigue.
Williams. Reese.
That's the matchup that's a problem. That and Stackhouse, that small forward with the little guy.
BC by 1 as we come up on 7 minutes to play here in the first half.
When you're number 1, they do come at you, and you have to be prepared.
A big bullseye on your chest.
Everybody's had a chance to look at tapes, know how they have to attack the zone.
Out of the side for 3, Malcolm Huckabee.
I think man-to-man's going to be the defense of the day, huh? You better get out those shooters.
We said BC had to shoot the 3. They're doing it. They lead by 4.
The Women's Final Four coming soon on CBS.
What happened? Chevy, got a minute? We got to talk. You're canceled. How do you get canceled out of a commercial? You're not getting the ratings, Chevy. I like this stuff. Well, keep the bag, Chev. Oh, you're a sport. You look great.
Tough year. Good chip.
Doritos Tortilla Thins. Everything else is just a chip.
They speak it in England, France, and Germany. It sounds the same in the U.S. and Mexico as it does in Hong Kong and Tokyo. It's the international language of business. And wherever it's spoken, Delta Airlines can put you right in the middle of the conversation. And then we'll bring you back to that place where you don't have to say a word to be understood. Delta Airlines.
We may not be the first to promise you the sun, the moon, the stars, but we may be the first to actually deliver them. Introducing the new Camaro convertible. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
At the end of the day, more top mechanics in America choose One Motor Oil over any other brand to help keep their own cars running longer. Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline.
For the first time, there's a saw that combines a 12-amp motor, dust collection, and an auto brake. So there's no limit to what you can build. Introducing the Quantum Circular Saw, new from Black & Decker.
You are watching the NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
.6:55 to play first half. Boston College has sent Mark Molinsky, number 32, onto the floor. So it's Molinsky, Huckabee, Grant, Curley, and Isley. And for the first time today, BC goes big.
And maybe the rebounding. Carolina known for that particular stat. A little zone now maybe to protect Curley. Give him some different looks. Tough shot. Hop up. Montross. I got it. Home run on a milk bottle.
Eagles by 2, 28-26.
Molinsky complements the outside shooting necessary. They go right up man-to-man. You've got to attack the three-point shooters on BC.
Southeast score. Kentucky down 13 to Marquette in the first half. Grant almost threw away, gets it back, finds Isley.
Nice closeout by Jerry Stackhouse. Switch.
Shot clock at 3. Isley puts it up. Good looking shot, tapped out of bounds to BC.
Curley just gives you that effort, and that time got in the middle where Wallace would have had an easier rebound. Just a nice slide to the ball.
Onto the floor, number 24, Dante Calabria.
I mentioned the consistency. Bill Guthridge, the high 20s in terms of years of service to Dean Smith, and their approach to the game very similar, and their club responds beautifully to both guys. Of course, Phil Ford and Dave Manners alongside as well. Phil not a bad teacher, huh? Well, like him, in good shape.
Isley on the drive.
Now this is better, even though the clock is running down. It was 8 seconds. And they look like they might get another shot at it.
That belongs to Boston College.
2 trips now. Get a little defensive look. See what Carolina's trying to do.
Trip to Miami at stake here. North Carolina, Boston College winner, joins Indiana, Florida, and Connecticut next weekend.
Phelps really doing a job out there. And the switch back first from Curley and then Huckabee.
The surprise of the day so far, Bill, Boston College out rebounding Carolina 17-11.
Machine did a nice job on Curley. Opens it up. He can make that little foul line jumper. It's a little further out that he has a problem.
4-point lead for the Eagles.
And with the man-to-man, you would think they'd opt for inside and Montrose. There he is. Give it to him. Good look.
Phelps, 3-pointer.
Look at that tip by the big guy.
And Montrose again, missed it again. Wallace.
Tough to keep them both off the 10.
Curley not wanting to get the third. Calabria pulling his way through it. And the block and the foul. Calabria playing rough basketball.
Now Wallace thinks it's on him. Relax, Rasheed. Underneath, the assistants, they have done a nice job, BC, finding people. It's cross court. I think they give it to Calabria, or at least they should. But what a presence. The Twin Tower effect, Chapel Hill style, the kiss. Not favoring Montrose, but generally he'll jam that if he has his legs under him.
And Curley, not much he can do about that. Grant back on the floor to replace Curley. Abrams shooting 2. Nine points for the freshman. Kevin Salvadori off the bench for Rasheed Wallace. Here's repeating. You said this is the most emotion that you've seen BC play with in some time.
All year. And I had them early in the season up at Syracuse, and they got a little excited, but it shows you what players can do when they get involved in the game, raise the level. The intensity is so important. Tough shot.
Calabria out of the corner, and yet another rebound for Abram. Isley, top of the key, 3-pointer, got it.
Abram is contagious right now. His killer instinct. He's got the spunk in the others.
Jump hook doesn't go. Stackhouse, what hands by Stackhouse again. And he got the foul.
They do get after it, don't they? A lot of white shirts keeping it alive.
Jerry Stackhouse, a 6'6" freshman out of Kinston, North Carolina.
And this is where the size is a problem underneath. You saw Huckabee with the swipe. Other than the 2 big guys, they're all little people reaching, trying to grab the goodies.
Curley back onto the floor. And there's a foul on Montrose. So Curley gets one of those back.
You got to holler to let the officials know. They just don't move. Get their attention.
How much of the practice do you devote to that? 3:55 to play first half. BC by 4.
It seems these days folks are taking a new look at their priorities. With that in mind, Chevy brings you the roomiest full-size pickup ever made, so that family can come first and work second. The extended cab from Chevrolet. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Imagine a processor that's not just about more power. It's about an entirely new kind of PC. One that responds instantly to whatever you ask of it. One that breathes new life, a new spark into all your software. That's the power of the Pentium processor. From Intel, the computer inside.
Finally, alone together. This is my secret little place.
Alfredo.
Ciao, bello.
Jerry, this is my brother Alfredo.
Brother?
And Sophia. Hello, baby.
Oh, hello.
This is Jerry.
Why don't you join us? Hello.
Are they going to be coming to the movie?
American Express.
Right, no preset spending limit.
Don't I know it?
To apply for the card, look at this display and take one.
Enjoy.
Look who's living in Archie's house now.
But love doesn't come with a compass. And it sure doesn't come with a color chart.
Welcome back to 704 Housing. Premieres April 11th.
I think to us, we just see them as 5 guys on the court as a team, a big team. But we know that they're a great team. They're national champs last year, and they had a great year. I think they're #1 right now. And we know that they're a good team, but we don't worry about their history because that was history. We just going in tomorrow believing in ourselves and hopefully pull off an upset.
Mature way of looking at a basketball game, huh?
And here's the trap off the timeout. You got to be ready all the time. The little giveaway by Stackhouse. You know what I was impressed with yesterday? He was so hard on himself. He said, I'm not happy with what I've done for 4 years. He's given numbers and performance consistently, but that's what makes players better.
Curley, Isley, Huckabee setting a school record today by playing in their 124th game. Isley, the only one who has started each and every one of them.
They are stretching the D with that kick cross court.
Abram, no, loose ball. And the freshman comes away with it and takes it hard to the hoop.
And Curley a part of that as well with the nudge. But Danye, say hey as he got after it.
BC by 6.
Little zone gives him the open one.
Stackhouse, no, tapped home.
Salvadori.
36-32. Under 3 to play.
The zone has been ineffective for Dean. They've been able to get the shots they want.
Abrams.
Got to get out of there.
Abrams again.
Oh.
And this time Montross pulls it down.
Good release though, huh? Before they could get back up.
McInnes off the baseline, drew the foul. Looks like it's on Isley.
So now that's a play that would be a freshman play. You know, taking it on your own, forcing the shot. He got the bailout, fortunately for him. You look at Dean with all these substitutes. Greg, he's not a Renaissance man. He does not begin anew. He just changes the faces. The games are the same and the results are the same.
Reese, Wallace, Williams onto the floor to join McInnes and Montross for North Carolina.
He goes on and on, right? Now George Lynch and Heinrich Rodel moved on, and he just keeps on winning. And don't get into a golf match with that guy. Or come well heeled. He is competitive.
Seven points for the freshman Jeff McInnes. 2:25 to play here in the first half. Boston College leading North Carolina by 2, 36-34. They have gotten a monumental contribution from the freshman Danye Abrams and some good outside shooting to stay 2 points up on the defending national champion.
Using the post guy for a reversal as well. It popped the lane. Screen by Danye.
Abrams weaving his way inside, kicks it out to Isley for 3.
Well, you see Abrams jumping up. He's the beer man on the club. He's the killer. The other guys are the milkshake guys. He's got a little terror in him.
Eagles by 5, 1:40 to play first half.
Nice post up, the 2 big guys, and Billy Curley very fortunate.
Wallace on his back complaining. Meanwhile, the Eagles come the other way.
Rashid looking to help out on Curley. Danye's going to have to make one of these, or at least take one.
Abrams in amongst the trees and comes back out. Isley. Abrams puts it on the floor, rejected by Wallace. Isley. Abrams for 3. (42-34). We're under a minute to play first half. Williams off the side. His 3 doesn't fall. Picked off by Abrams.
What a check out by Huckabee. Giving up a ton of inches and able to ward off.
Huckabee.
Didn't need it. Nice save.
Tapped out. The save.
Look at the presence of mind, huh? Everything flowing. Well, OB, a lot of people wanted him history a few years ago. He's got them shaking right now.
Is this halftime score going to raise a few eyebrows around the country?
They want to make sure it's the last shot. Don't give the Heels another opportunity. And Curley does not want to foul on a tip.
Isley, and now Abrams around and out. And that'll do it for the first half. An outstanding first half for the Boston College Eagles. Steady play on the inside, sharp shooting from the outside.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the second round of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Cadillac, Intel, and by the American Express card.
The standard set by the federal government.
We welcome you back to Landover, Maryland at the U.S. Air Arena. Greg Gumbel, Bill Raftery, Leslie Visser as well. 42-34. To say this is a surprise is putting it very lightly, but the shooting, especially the long-range shooting of BC, has made a difference here.
Extraordinary the way they've handled the different looks, and the scrambling defense is an asset to BC's philosophy. They spread the floor, penetrate, dish the ball for the 3. Look at the numbers. 17 attempts, knocking 7 down.
This is a surprise. The rebounding.
They've been competitive. Danye has been superb on the glass and contributing on the offensive end as well. Danye Abrams.
11 points, 8 rebounds for the freshman. He and Isley lead the way for BC with 11 points apiece. McInnes and Stackhouse, Carolina's leading scorers, with 8 apiece, but the bench strength could tell for Carolina here in the second half.
Well, he said they want to do what BC did to Notre Dame in football. He's got half of it covered. Jimmy O'Brien. Straight up, man-to-man. Good front by Wallace. They harass the passer. That's why it's tough to make entries against Carolina.
Huckabee. Oh, nice try by Malcolm Huckabee, out of bounds to Boston College.
Now Rashid's like, I went to school in Philly, but is like our kind of guy. Say, watch the push and always communicate with the official, but say it nicely. You get a little more out of it.
Curley. Out of bounds again to BC. Let's go to Leslie Visser.
Greg, at halftime, Jim O'Brien said the difference in this game is BC's quickness on the perimeter and their lack of turnovers. He said he'd like to see Bill Curley come up big, Greg.
Speaking of big, Greg, Danier.
Danier now with 13 points.
A slip to the goal, a breakdown defensively and then offensively.
The lead, the save, and BC has possession. They lead by 10.
They haven't been able to establish Billy Curley yet on the box. Nice play.
There's a foul on Williams. Dean Smith plays a lot of guys. A bunch of them come off the bench. His leading scorers are freshmen off the bench. And in the first half, 20 points for Carolina's bench, none for BC.
And that's where they wear you down. Attrition. The numbers as well as the points and rebounds.
Huckabee. Too long. Look at Danier all by himself, but he kicked it out. And that one be out of bounds to North Carolina.
They are possessed.
Danier, all he had to do was take a look around.
He had a layup. Too unselfish. They'll take that meal card away from him. You mentioned they clock him on campus. Every place he goes, they knows when he has that hot dog or chips.
Or Dunkin' Donuts. 44-34, Eagles by 10.
They got the inside people. They should use them, Carolina. Curley bodying up on 0-0.
The lob for Montross.
There you go. Use them.
44-36, Boston College by 8.
Early on, they were in a hurry, a little more poise.
Abram for three. Gerard Abram. 47-36.
You know what they've got Carolina doing? Overcompensate. They're overrunning the play. They're helping, which is their concept, but the spread is forcing the problems.
Montross. Left hook. Wallace. Too strong. Early rebound.
Good non-call, too.
Here comes Gerard Abram. Huckabee, three from this side. Boston College by 14.
Number 4 on Montross, the shove. Second, excuse me.
That's 2 on Eric Montross.
The ability to reverse the basketball has just set up open jumpers. They're going to have to stay at home, let everybody contain their own. 2 on Eric Montross. He's got to relax. They've got to find him and empty out the weak side.
Boston College led the Big East in three-point shooting the last 3 years. And here comes Williams. Rashid, hand on the basketball and a foul.
And Isley wisely got out of the way. Didn't want to get another foul.
Wisely.
Well, I didn't really think of it quite that way, but just getting out of the way, the fill, the other aspect, the trailer, and Dan Ye making sure it doesn't get up on the tin.
Dean Smith looking for a 14th Sweet 16 appearance in 14 years. BC now 9 of 22 three-point shots.
Now, if you look at BC, you say, all right, we got the advantage. We got the size. They've got the small guys. But what BC has done beautifully is the spread of the floor, creating so much area that their hustling defense, the scramble, hasn't had the impact. The last one was one of the few times they stepped in the passing lane.
Isley saves it. Huckabee down low. Abram lost the handle. Loose ball picked off by Abram. Shot clock is at 9, and an offensive foul. That's 3 on Howard Isley.
Phelps will body up on you. Too many people in an area makes it tougher or easier to trap.
BC by 12, 16.5 to play. Stackhouse. Long arms of Wallace pull that one in. And from behind, Huckabee draws the foul.
They are not given an easy opportunity for Eric.
Williams to the line. No, inbound.
Well, 2-3 look now. On the out of bounds, a lot of clubs opt for this, but it might give an open opportunity for a Williams, or in this case, Stackhouse on the high, the short corner.
10 points for Stackhouse. Carolina down 10. And the steal. Phelps clobbered by Abrams, and the intentional foul is called. And Phelps is still down.
It's the way he delivered the blow. There's no question he got the basketball, but now this is what I was talking about, Dean Smith. I mean, he is a competitor, and he doesn't want to see anything happen to his guys.
Meanwhile, Jim O'Brien has gathered his team near center court and is having a conversation with Danye Abrams.
And Bill Guthridge is livid as he responds on the Carolina bench. He wants Danye eliminated from the game.
And now he's taken up his case with one of the officials. Danye goes 6'7", and right now about 265.
There's no question he was given the foul, and Jimmy O'Brien, I think, is taking him out, which will calm things down a little bit. Paul Grant up.
This will be coming at you at regular speed.
Well, Danye, not the kind of guy, even on a touch foul, but you can see he got body first. I don't think guys know how to give fouls. Part of the problem. And fortunately, and it is great to see Derek up.
And now with a seat on the bench. Here's another look at it. And this is a hammer job at the other end.
In it was the great play. You lose sight of the wonderful step in by Derek Phelps, and Dean puts in a premier free throw shooter, which is his decision, 73. McGinnis was another thought for him at 62. He opted for Dante Calabria.
Calabria with 1 out of 2, and North Carolina will have the ball when we come back to Landover in just a moment.
Sports exclusive coverage of the second round of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Mazda, Budweiser, and by American Airlines.
Derek Phelps on the sideline, and as you mentioned, Bill, during the timeout, this could be a big emotional swing for North Carolina. 15:52 to play here in the second half. Boston College leading by 9, but after the intentional foul, it could be a big turnaround for Carolina, which has scored the last 5 points.
They have to turn it up, or they've got to match BC emotionally, and BC has to gather themselves.
Danye Abrams, who committed that foul, is on the bench. Williams, long-range jumper's there. That's a 2. 7-point run for Carolina and a 7-point lead for BC.
man extending the floor a little bit. Everybody pretty much staying at home.
Huckabee ignores the 3 for now. Shot clock down to 10.
Montrose looking to help Rasheed Wallace on Curley, who hasn't had many touches. Down the floor.
Shot clock at 3 now. Curley with the soft hook, doesn't go. Tap no good. And the rebound off to Carolina. Whistle underneath. Foul on BC. Let's go over to Leslie.
Greg, Derek Phelps has a mild concussion. He says he's all right, but the team doctors said they don't know if he will play again.
All right,
Greg.
Leslie, thank you. Wallace into McInnes. McInnes, Reese, Wallace, Montross, and Williams on the floor now for Dean Smith.
And against the 2-3, they've been able to get open looks. Good reaction by Huckabee.
Montross triple teamed outside McInnes. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. On the baseline.
What a screen by Montross. He just warded off Paul Grant.
Tar Heels within 5. And Danya Abrams going to come back in. Curley gets the bucket and the foul.
Got to get him in the game. Get him low where he can do some damage. They've been a little quick with the trigger, so when he sprints to the box, he generally is looking to follow. Here they got him set. He opens the friendly kiss at the end, and they needed it badly. This is just gorgeous earlier. I mentioned the screen. Look, there's no way Grant's going to stop that attempt.
And Montross takes a seat on the bench with his 3rd personal foul. Curley goes to the line. Abrams got a hand on it and tipped it out.
Look at him turn the corner.
Feeds Huckabee for a 3. And this time comes away with it Brian Reese. Williams going to take the 3.
Oh, what
and
a
the tap in by Salvadori.
That's why the big guys run the floor. Counter.
And the shot out of bounds. And that is an intentional foul. And, you know, it's easy to say now, Bill, but on the long-range look, it looks like it was unnecessary.
I could have let him have the deuce. I mean, you're on a nice run. You got a good feel. And with that speed, he may have missed it anyhow. Remember earlier, Danye got his legs out from under him. Looked like he was skating.
So Danye will shoot a couple. Only a 60% shooter on the season from the free throw line. He had 7 points, 9 rebounds in the win over Washington State on Friday.
See, before the Big East, BC wouldn't have recruited a guy this big. They couldn't afford the training table. But now, conference play and the rewards.
You need a few offensive linemen in that Big East conference, don't you?
They could use them.
53-47, Boston College with the ball.
Well, they went zone on the inbounds earlier. BC ended up on a straight up man. And end up with some good looks.
Huckabee with Stackhouse on it.
And Wallace doing a nice job on Curley. He does a nice job holding off in there. The old-fashioned weave.
Abram had it smacked away as he tried to go down the middle, and Innes ahead of the pack. Missed the layup, out of bounds to Carolina.
Isley, again, avoiding the conflict. Mentioned Rasheed's job, and you've got to be active with it. This is what's amazing about him. He's got great footwork for such a young guy.
The mood swings in this second half have been very obvious.
It's like a bad marriage.
McInnes for 3.
Look at the position. The big fella.
Got to block him out. Huckabee.
Easy for you to say.
Coming back, 53-49. Huckabee, tough shot. Loose ball, Abrams has it.
Abram likes to go for the jugular on each trip. He's the leader of the pack.
Fans wanted to walk on Curley. Nice bounce inside and was taken away. Up ahead, Stackhouse on the move. 2-point lead for Boston College. 12-10 to play.
The scrambling has its impact as McGinnis. We mentioned the sophisticated defenses. Jeff steps in beautifully like an established veteran, and the stack to the rack with some authority, tearing the house down.
We wondered what kind of an impact that hard foul committed by Danye Abrams would have. Carolina has been a ball of fire since then.
That they have.
An 11-3 run.
Oh, the push now by Isley, and Calabria frustrating, just like Phelps had on the trap earlier.
I thought that was a pretty good dive by Calabria.
Well, it got the attention. I think they're trying to clean it up. This is number 4, and the momentum pushing backwards. And
now Mark Malinsky is going to come in off the bench for Isley, who takes a seat with his 4th personal. Isley with 11 points. And 3 of the 3-pointers made by BC today.
Now Malinsky can fill it up, but it's those leadership qualities and the scrappiness defensively, as Malinsky has Stackhouse. Tough assignment. Now they switch back.
Coming up on 11.5 to play in the game.
Montro's got to lock his guy. Just standing. Here he comes.
The double team and a travel. Word from the Carolina bench, they're checking on that slight concussion that Phelps has, and they've asked him to count backwards from 100 by 7, and he can't do it. And until he can, he won't be back into the game.
Well, I certainly hope he's okay. He means so much to them. That would be difficult for my players without that kind of an impact. Only in Carolina. It used to be count to 10. That's how I learned how to fight.
Malinsky open for a 3, way short. Here come the Tar Heels looking for the tie. Stackhouse missed the layup. Montross follows. We're tied at 53. 13-3 run by the Heels. Curley off the glass, no. Carolina took the lead for Good Friday against Liberty at the 9:37 mark of the second half, and that's an offensive foul.
A little bit out of control as Reese tries to take it the length of the floor, but this is just great offensive basketball. They're trail people who, if they don't have the break, they use him to reverse it, are getting the puppies up and down. And you think Rasheed's not having some fun? Little well out of Philly, little chubby checker move.
Rasheed into the lineup now. Montross will have a seat. 9 BC turnovers now to 12 for the Tar Heels.
Well, Malcolm Huckabee has to assume the mantle of Isley as he directs and makes sure they get into their offense. Look at this trap and double up. They got the timeout. They come at you with a lot of looks.
And Jim O'Brien looking for some help for his guard. We'll be back. Greg Gumbel, Bill Raftery, Leslie Visser at the US Air Arena. 10.5 to play. Carolina has come back to tie. It's been a long time since they had the lead. It was at 10:45 of the first half.
You saw Rasheed go out and play Gerard Abram. Now he's got Curley. He has just blanketed Billy Curley.
Malinsky didn't take the shot out of the corner. Shot clock down to 5 now. And Huckabee's got to find a way to get a shot off, and he does over Rasheed Wallace. followed by Curley.
Well, the jump out freed up Curley. He wisely went to the goal.
Eagles up 2.
Stackhouse could do some damage hiding on the baseline or follows with that Huckabee and or Malinsky matchup.
See, Kentucky has come back to within 4 of Marquette now. Follow no good. Salvadori no, and the whistle blows underneath.
This is the jump out by Rashid, and look who's got to play him. Donald Williams, and the strong completion with a great deal of authority. But the other end, the idea of having some size is to take advantage of it, and Dean did with that match on Stackhouse. Keep him close to the cylinder.
Dean was a little upset. His guys kind of fell asleep as the shot clock expired there. Mark Malinsky, his first personal. Stackhouse at the line, having himself a pretty good afternoon. 13 points for the freshman.
Truly going to be, with Rashid, a glamour kind of a performer, but this guy has that steady impact during the course of a game. He's going to just step up each year as his confidence and offensive ability grows.
Curley saved it. Huckabee pushing it down the lane out to Gerard Abram.
Boy, are they showing some inners.
BC by 4.
Danye doing a nice job down low on Montross. Look at this match, just too easy.
And Wallace and Curley tied up at the elbow.
Well, they have gotten away from pushing the ball up the floor because Carolina has been able to knock them down and get back and get the defense set. This time, the push and the tray from deep.
9:05 to play in the game. The 3-point story.
This is the one defense BC has handled adroitly.
Curley with the jumper. And Stackhouse all by himself for the rebound. Carolina coming back for the tie again. And this time Malinsky pulls it down. How long can we keep up this pace?
Thought he got fouled, that's why he shot it. And Danye grabs.
Looks like he grabbed Montross.
See, that's what's happened. What happens to Gerard? I mean, he'll get a little out of kilter because he goes for it too often, and Danye on the miss, the errant toss. It's a small change reach in, unnecessary.
Jim O'Brien telling him just that, very unnecessary, and it's Danye's 4th. And Paul Grant will replace Abrams in the lineup.
Grant hasn't been playing much of late. The first half didn't have the impact.
And Danye has been a force underneath.
He has been a tiger.
14 points, 10 rebounds. He's on the bench for his 4th. Montross hits the 1st. And a few more words underneath. This has been an emotional contest. Howard Isley checks back in.
Now Curley has that New England softness, but don't let that fool you. And he's in there taunting with the best of them. Whether it's Rashid or Stackhouse, he does not back off.
Montross goes for the tie. .58 all. 8:38 to play.
And Jimmy O'Brien's done a nice job yo-yoing guys with foul problems, staying alive.
Isley just off the bench. And Calabria right on it. Abram for 3.
And he got a look. See, if he plays within the framework, he makes great contributions. Just gets a little wild on occasion. But that's the pump.
Eagles by 3.
2-3 zone gives an open look.
Williams, no. Here comes Gerard Abram. Down the lane, no. Following is Montross for the rebound. And the offensive foul on Montross. That is 4 on the Carolina big man.
They are just getting after it, Greg. Unbelievable. And right there, Curley sort of walks into it in a sense. I think Montross just trying to extricate himself from difficult, but the pratfall certainly ensures the call.
A little gift for Bill Curley on the top of the other eye.
The thespian in him.
Foul troubles abound now. Isley and Abram for BC, Montross for North Carolina. Salvadori in, Montross to the bench. 7:55 to play. Eagles with the ball and a 3-point lead.
Carolina, one of those clubs that makes inbounding a difficult trip.
Gerard Abram hits yet another three. 64-58, and the Heels trying to do it with Eric Montross on the bench. Williams from the side, no. And a whistle blows, a collapse on the floor, and let's see who the foul is against.
Paul Grant was trying to check out, and I guess they can go either way with this. I have seen an awful lot of competitive games. The ability to get to the Sweet 16 is the prize, and you can call that. Let's see if they give a double.
Looks like the foul is on Grant. And that's a tough foul.
Oh, it sure was. I mean, but just the zeal, the effort, the enthusiasm of both teams. Just such a high level of performance, intensity.
This has been a physical, brutal game under the hoop. Grant, Curley, Gerard Abram, Malcolm Huckabee, and Howard Isley on the floor for Boston College. Rasheed Wallace, Jeff McInnes, Jerry Stackhouse, Kevin Salvadori, and Dante Calabria for Dean Smith's Tar Heels. 64-59. Montross on the bench with 4 fouls. Wallace looking for his 8th point.
It tells you how deep this club is without Phelps, their leader, having suffered that slight concussion earlier, able to get back in it.
Phelps, Montross, Reese, 3 starters on the bench right now. 64-60, Boston College with the ball in a 4-point lead.
Now they've been able to cause a switch on the pick and roll, and when it's Curley, it's been a very effective weapon. He can take, there he goes. Nice help by Salvadori.
Huckabee out of the corner. And Rasheed Wallace has this one.
Boy, they are getting opportunities.
Calabria open for this shot. And Rasheed Wallace missed the stuff. Salvadori has it and drew the foul. This looks like it'll be Grant.
Well, you're in a zone, you've got to rebound, and the problem is you usually rebound in your area. You don't identify and go and do a good job checking out. They have had good looks on the kick out. Now Curley reacts, but just watch all the bodies sliding into shape. You think you have one, here comes another from the wing, and good pursuit of the basketball by the Heels.
And now add Paul Grant to the list of those with 4 personals.
Rabascu played well the other day, but you're losing a lot of size.
Kevin Rabowski at 6'6", a junior out of Detroit, replaces 6'10", Paul Grant. Salvadori hits 1 out of 2. Boston College by 3. Coming up on 6:40 to play in the game. Isley playing with 4. Abram for 3, that's off the mark. And a grab by Curley. And the foul is on Rasheed Wallace.
Well, what happened is Curley was in position to rebound. As he jumped, he got shoved further. That's why it was such a great gather by Billy Curley.
That's 3 on Wallace. Let's have another look.
We talked about the nice footwork by Rasheed. Here, he does not step to his guy. The finish of a sequence. Check him out.
There's such a thing as an incidental bump. That's what that looked like.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Well, we got the second look at it, but maybe he was forced on the end line too with the ball.
Curley with 9 points today.
See, as a coach, if Jimmy O'Brien, his guys had this kind of emotion every night, of course, every club can't reach that height in a game, but this is what was lacking, and I think the seniors finally got together and said, hey, we got to give everything we can.
66-61.
Particularly against a club like Carolina. McGinnis will get on-the-job training now without Derek Phelps. Still a 2-3 zone.
Boston College still without a point from a guy off the bench. Calabria moves in, didn't get it. Curley pulls it down. Huckabee back outside for Isley. Across the lane. Gerard Abram for 3. And Calabria has the ball.
Amazing how they've been able to dribble, drive, and kick. Not good containment by Carolina.
We are down under 6 minutes. Williams got his own rebound. In traffic, Wallace. Tapped out and grabbed by Isley.
He only knows one way, Gerard.
The lob. Curley saves it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Huckabee no. Wallace with the rebound.
Guys are putting their fists up for Dean to get him out. Rashid's exhausted.
Williams short. And the rebound by Rabowski. Here comes Isley.
Should back it out.
Jim O'Brien says, slow down. We're under 5 minutes for the game. BC leading by 5.
Nice pass.
Curley got it.
With the right. What a look. That's why you need Isley on the floor.
68-61 Boston College. And a timeout is called. 4:32 to play.
Back at US Air Arena where Boston College leads by 7. Well, 27 years ago, Boston College lost to Carolina in the regional final, and this man was the starting guard, Jack Cabans. Jack, what do you think of your alma mater today?
It's a great game. I hope that we don't turn it over and we make some foul shots down the stretch, and I think Obi can get himself one here.
Could be. Well, you're the AD now at George Mason. I think they'll leave some memorable footprints on your floor.
Certainly will. Thank you.
And congratulations to Jack on a fine hosting job by George Mason as Jeff McInnes hits the three-pointer and cuts the Eagles' lead to 4.
He has confidence in knocking down shots. There's Jack on the committee for this particular site.
Under 4 minutes to play.
Curley doing a nice job.
Abram, 3, no. Tap up and no good. That'll be on Rabowski, it looks like. It is.
Well, holding 3:43 and Danier on the bench, not a bad idea. 4 points, you're still there, and they do that to everybody generally. 34. Just a marvelous, here comes Danier. A marvelous use of the bench by Jimmy O'Brien, getting spot play, mostly for defensive, for rebounding reasons, not the numbers on the offensive end.
And Danier Abrams back into the lineup for Jim O'Brien. Williams on the line, shooting 2.
Going to commercial, remember seeing Dean upset? He didn't want the timeout. That's what he was trying to explain to the players. Of course, he likes to conserve them for the end.
Williams just 1 for 11 from the floor today. This free throw can cut the Boston College lead to 2 with 3:43 to play. And he does. Montross back on the floor along with Wallace for Dean Smith. Stackhouse, McInnes, and Williams round out the lineup.
And they go 2-3 zone. Might get a high baseline. Good curl by Billy.
Curley, soft hook.
Nice ball movement. The defense not able to react to the post cut. The flash by Curley. Nice pass. Pretty. Eric knows what to do when he gets it. Finish it off.
70-68, BC. 3 minutes to play. Isley with a good look at the basket. And it didn't fall for him. Wallace with the good position. Carolina looking for the tie. Stackhouse.
Tough angle.
Wallace, tie game. 2.5 minutes to play. We are tied at 70. 10 points for Rasheed Wallace.
And Carolina goes man-to-man.
Abrams brings it back out.
Use Curley with the rub. He slips to the goal.
Huckabee. Wallace got a piece of it. Tar Heels looking for the lead.
Got to get over on Donald. I know he's been struggling, but he gets opportunities.
Like that one. Overshot. Isley with the ball. And he'll pull it back. We are down to 1.5 minutes to play. The winner goes to Miami next weekend.
Absolutely scintillating basketball game. 2 heroic performances by these teams. Carolina without Phelps. Nice slip pass again.
Curley inside of Montross.
This time Huckabee.
Coming up on 1 minute to play. The Eagles lead by 2. Carolina with the ball, and there's a foul on Curley from behind on Montross. Billy Curley committing his 3rd.
That was a fatigue foul, Greg. He got caught with the ball reversal, and because of being tired, unable to get around the front side. But Montross very active the last 2 trips.
North Carolina has not led in this game since 10:45 of the first half. They led 19-18. The game has been tied a couple of times since, particularly in the last 4 or 5 minutes. But the Tar Heels have not yet been able to jump ahead since that early point in the game.
I'm looking at BC. They remind you a little bit of Temple, except they've got Curley to slip it through and Danier to contribute. The 3 guards handle it, do most of the damage.
Earlier today, Indiana beat Temple to move on to Miami next week, joining Florida and UConn. The winner of this game will do the same. North Carolina, 17 of 22 from the line today. Now 18 of 23. BC, 6 out of 9. We're tied at 72 and under 1 minute to play. Inside, and he will go to the free throw line.
Does he want the basketball? Jimmy O'Brien, it's been guard oriented, making the calls to go low, and the response beautiful. Right here we've seen so many good entry passes, but the aggressive nature of Curley's surfacing. Look at these guys.
Okay. Rasheed Wallace, his 4th personal. Curley, 16 points, 12 of them coming here in the second half. Eagles by 1. BC, the number 9 seed in the East. Carolina, number 1. 2-point lead for BC.
They extend the floor. I think they got to get back and protect.
25 seconds to play. Carolina trailing by 2. McGinnis down the lane. No. Wallace, loose ball. Boston College with it. And Abram fouled.
Not a good free throw shooter.
Gerard Abram shoots 48% from the free throw line.
And right here, the biggest rebound of the game for BC, and a terrific opportunity negated by the hustling and scrappy play. Well, they pray. The Jesuits teach them that, and they were rewarded with that rebound.
This is Abram's first attempt from the free throw line today, and as you said, historically not a good free throw shooter. Let's go back to Washington State Friday. Abram hit 2 free throws, which put BC ahead for keeps.
This one is the key one for Carolina. They've got the three-point shooters on the floor, McGinnis, and obviously Donald Williams.
Carolina can tie with a 3. Stackhouse in the corner and call the timeout with 7.6 on the clock. Dean Smith will decide what he wants to do. We'll be back. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. Boston College by 3. 7.6 to play.
And they let it go and force it back out.
Wallace with a 3. Not the one that Dean Smith wanted to take the shot. BC is a winner.
Not too many people believe Dean Smith wisely goes inside for the kick back out. It's the easiest thing, and the heads-up play by Rasheed Wallace. The incredible. Well, Boston, you may believe now in BC.
BC's defense left no one but Rasheed Wallace available to make the shot, and did the bench love it?
Rabaski left him alone, and that's the quickest I've seen Grant move in his career, coming off the Pines.
Dean Smith looking for the kick out. Rasheed Wallace's shot doesn't fall, and Dean Smith heads over to congratulate Jim O'Brien. Jim O'Brien and Bill Curley and Gerard Abram are with Leslie Visser.
Well, Greg, I think the dish ran away with the spoon. Congratulations from over here to all. They're all saying Sweet 16, Gerard. First of all, happy birthday. What about the free throws?
Thank you. It was big free throws. I made the first one. Came up short on the second one, baby. As long as we won the game, I'm not even worried about the free throws right now.
Billy,
Miami, baby.
Billy, talk about battling inside against the great Carolina front line.
Well, they got a lot of big people, and we were just fortunate that Gerard, Malcolm, and Howard did a great job shooting the 3 and opening it up in the second half for us.
He's bleeding, but not on both. Jimmy, what kind of a win for this is Boston College?
I mean, it's major. It's probably the biggest win in BC's history. These kids deserve so much credit. They just played with a lot of determination and a lot of heart. I'm very, very proud of them naturally.
Malcolm, it was the quickness on the perimeter. What were you able to do against Carolina?
What we wanted to do, we just wanted to go in and penetrate and kick. And we were hitting our threes at the beginning. And when we knew we can't come out slow, we wanted to come out and jump on them right away. And our shots were falling, and we were just too quick for him out in the perimeter. And Billy Curley, he just played great. He's our man, and we're just proud to be here, and we're on to the Sweet 16.
On to the Sweet 16 against Indiana. Thank you all. Congratulations. Back to you.
All right, Leslie, we might add the BC graduate Leslie Visser had a little extra interest in this game.
Vested, huh? And I just thought it was so alert on both ends. Jimmy O'Brien giving the opportunity for only a two-pointer, and then Rasheed Wallace, who received the pass, taking it outside, trying to knock the three down, very alert.
And a little credit indeed for Jim O'Brien and his Boston College Eagles, who just played an emotional game from start to finish.
They believed in themselves, performed at such a high pitch, extraordinary victory for the Eagles.
Out of the East Regional play here in Landover, Indiana advances, and so does Boston College. The Eagles and the Hoosiers will travel to Miami next week to join Florida and UConn in the Sweet 16. 75-72, BC a winner. Let's go back to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, Greg. That's why they call it March Madness, folks. 3 Cinderellas in a 1-hour span. Let's go out to Sacramento now for the finish. Arizona up 15 on Virginia.
Dave Sims and today, North Carolina. BC's Giant Killers do it again. A scary afternoon in Los Angeles. A large aftershock rattles buildings and nerves. And the parade may have been off, but the Bulger breakfast was on, and even the president phoned in a few jokes.